Hey guys, welcome back. In today's video, we're going to be talking about the start of the Michigan firearm season. And here in Michigan, that always falls on the same day, November 15, or as what most hunters call it, opening day. For me, opening day is my favorite time to be in the woods. And it's not because it's particularly a great day to be deer hunting. It's just because there's such a rich tradition surrounding this day. Believe it or not, there are even some school districts in the northern part of Michigan that don't even have school on November 15 because they wouldn't have enough students to fill the classrooms. I think in the past couple years there's been anywhere from 500,000 to 750,000 gun hunters on opening day here in Michigan. Now that's a lot of orange hitting the woods, or as they call it here in Michigan, the Orange Army. And I remember before we built our cabin on our property up north, we would always be driving up there the morning of. And what I remember is all the other cars on the road at the same time driving up north. It was like rush hour traffic at 3 a.m. And to me, that was something that was always so cool to see. Everyone was driving up north to try to put their tag on a Michigan whitetail. And it's always fun to be a part of that on November 15. And guys, before we really dive into the strategy portion of this video, I really want to touch on the most important thing about deer hunting in general, and that's safety. Every year we hear about a hunter who was either shot or killed because another hunter was shooting at something that they couldn't identify, or they were shooting at a deer but they didn't know what was behind their target. And guys, there's really no excuse for this. Always make sure you can identify what you're shooting at, and please always make sure you know what's behind your target. Being safe in the woods is the most important thing. And because you can't control what everyone else is doing, make sure that you're as visible as possible and wear as much hunter's orange or blaze orange as you can. You really don't know what your neighbor's shooting at. You really don't know their hunting background or whether they're safe or not. So please just wear as much orange as possible, identify your targets, and make sure you know what's behind your target. But now let's kind of dive into the strategies of hunting the opening day of firearm season, and we'll touch on 3 of them in this video. And the first one we'll touch on is a location that you should be keying in on to sit on opening morning. And that's either a field edge, the inside corner of a field, maybe in between 2 fields where a hedgerow comes up and splits the 2 fields. This is a great spot to be in the morning of opening day. And if driving down the highway and looking into the fields and seeing where all these shooting houses are is any indicator on where you should be sitting, field edges is a great place to start. I don't normally hunt field edges up until this point for obvious reasons. During archery season, you can't reach out as far, and you also have a high probability of spooking deer as they're in those fields. And so while hunting a field edge during archery season might not give you the best chance, hunting that same location the morning of opening day of firearm season is a great choice. If you can slip through the woods and get on the edge of that field well before daylight, preferably the inside corner of that field, you have a great opportunity for 2 reasons. The first being the deer are going to be out in those fields, and as they come through, they're going to be giving you shot opportunities. And now with a firearm, whether it's a rifle or a shotgun, you can reach out much farther than you could during the archery season. The second reason why you might want to start thinking about hunting a field edge on opening day is because of all the other hunters that are entering the woods for the first time this season. Again, as we mentioned earlier, there could be as many as 700,000 gun hunters hitting the woods on opening day. And these guys are pushing into spots that have not been hunted up until this point. And what that's going to do is that's going to kick those deer out of those locations, and they're going to be trying to find a new place to hide. And if you're sitting on a field edge, you have a great opportunity of seeing those deer running from one woodlot to the next woodlot, or from the neighbors from across the street up that hedgerow right to you. So along with field edges, another great place to hunt on opening day would be in the bedding areas. Find the thickest, nastiest cover on your property and make sure that you have a stand in there. You want to put yourself in the location that those deer are going to start running to when the bullets start flying. And another really nice thing about hunting within the bedding areas in the thick cover is the deer typically are slowing down once they get there. If you're on the field edge and you're seeing deer that are bumped, normally those deer are moving pretty quickly to get from point A to point B, escaping danger. Once they reach the security cover, they typically slow down. And so that's going to give you a much easier shot. When you're hunting these bedding locations, you don't normally have to stop the deer. They're going to be moving pretty slow because they think that they've already reached safety. So give yourself another great opportunity and be in the location that those deer are fleeing to. The last tip we'll talk about in this video is sit out as long as you can. November 15 or opening day is filled with hunters who can't really sit very long. These guys are looking at their watch and they can't wait to get down at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning, head back to the truck, head back to cabin to tell the stories from their morning hunt. When these hunters get down, there's a really good chance that they're going to spook deer and send them running in every direction. And so if you can gut it out longer than anyone else, you have a really good chance of seeing a lot of midday movement as hunters are leaving to go to breakfast or even as they're coming back into the woods for the evening hunt. And I was actually fortunate enough to capitalize this in the last 2 seasons. Our neighbors were moving through the woods, they kicked 2 bucks to me, and I was able to capitalize on it. So pack a lunch, bring plenty to drink, grab a couple extra hand warmers, and sit as long as you can. You never know when your neighbor is gonna kick one of their bucks your way. And guys, I know there's plenty more strategies for opening day, but that's all we're gonna cover in this video. If you guys do have any strategies that you like to use every year, I'd love to hear about it. Please drop your comments and questions in the comment section below. I'll get back to those as soon as I can, and we will see you guys in the next video.